For the coastal Empire Low Country, all of the rain is still centered back to the west of Alma and Baxley, Vidalia, Swainsboro. A couple of isolated showers have developed and moved on shore near coastal Liberty County. Also coastal Chatham County up in the low country of South Carolina. I want to point out a couple of things. None of those cells are rotating, so we do not have at this point any tornado warnings in our local area. Also, no tornado warnings currently in effect for the entire state of Georgia. That is certainly a good sign this evening, but we do have strong gusty winds back to the west of our area. These are current wind gusts, and winds are gusting as high as 43 miles per hour at Hazelhurst, a 33 mile per hour wind around the Alma area, Savannah 27 mile per hour. Now earlier this evening we did have a wind gust at Jekyll Island in Glenn County up to 61 miles per hour, so the winds are quite blustery on the immediate coast. As far as where the track is going to be going, overnight it's going to move west of our area. Winds will decrease to a tropical storm strength very quickly heading through South Carolina tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, likely somewhere over southern North Carolina, offshore the mid-Atlantic by Friday morning. So in terms of impacts, it will be later tonight into early tomorrow morning when we may see a few wind gusts 45 to 55 miles per hour far inland communities. So what does all this mean for us? Well, first of all, tropical storm warnings are in effect for the entire coastal empire and low country. Just to our west, hurricane warnings are in effect. One location, Hazelhurst and Jeff Davis County under that hurricane warning. But again, tropical storm warnings for us. Also, the risk for tornadoes will be increasing overnight into tomorrow morning. Storm Prediction Center has issued a tornado watch. This is in effect till 2 a.m. tonight, but it may be expanded as we go into the overnight hours. It's just for southeastern Georgia, so beware for the possibility of isolated spin-ups coming in later in the evening into the overnight hours. Main threats, as Chris has been telling you, wind gusts potentially up to 55 miles per hour. Not out of the question to see an isolated gust to 60 miles per hour far inland communities late tonight or early tomorrow morning. Rainfall generally 2 to 4 inches. Yes, the possibility of some minor to moderate coastal flooding around that time of high tide. And as we said, a risk for tornadoes. That is right, Tina and Ben. We have the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center as of 5 p.m. A little bit of weakening being shown by the system as it moves across the panhandle of Florida shortly to enter portions of southwestern Georgia. Winds are now down to 125 miles per hour. On the Saffir-Simpson scale, that is a Category 3, still a very, very powerful hurricane, no doubt, but it is slowly weakening. You can see it is right on the edge of Georgia, also Alabama and Florida along that line there, moving off to the north-northeast pretty quickly at about 16 miles per hour. Large area precipitation, including rotating thunderstorm cells to the north and also to the east of the center of circulation.
Let's check in with Storm Team 3 meteorologist Lee Haywood for your forecast first. Lee.
Hey there, Trish. Yeah, definitely pretty hot and humid across the coastal empire and low country. For most of us, actually looking pretty good here in Savannah. We had a high of 91 today, rain-free conditions, but take a look at this. A strong thunderstorm over portions of southwestern Wayne County. This is heading off to the north and northeast, about 11 miles per hour.
Now, Storm Team 3 weather, powered by Sparrow's live Titan radar.
Late this Friday morning, some beautiful conditions out at Tybee Island. A lot of folks enjoying the sunshine and comfortable temperatures for this hour. Matter of fact, most areas in the low 80s, officially 83 degrees in Savannah with a partly cloudy sky. Good deal of sunshine out there. The feels like temperature has reached 88 now, and we'll reach into the 90s in terms of how it's going to feel out there. Maybe a couple of spots getting above 100. Wind is calm and the pressure is steady at 30.02 inches of mercury. So if you're heading to the beaches today, Saturday or Sunday, here's a look at the beach forecast. Should be a low risk for rip currents. Water temperature is 82. Overall, highs on the beaches in the upper 80s. Maybe a spotty storm today, but low odds for that. Then we get a little bit better chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday and Sunday, and the beach highs reaching the upper 80s. This is going to be the focus for most of the concentrated shower and thunderstorm activity, I think, for the day Sunday. And you can see right now for the coastal Carolinas, southeast Georgia, things are fairly nice. High pressure's in control. That is the Atlantic variety high pressure offshore. So this is your map for the day Sunday. You can see the areas of greatest thunderstorm risk, western Georgia into southeastern and eastern Alabama, the panhandle of Florida. For us, I think we're going to see the sea breeze come inland. It's going to trigger a few showers and thunderstorms. Best chance for rain will be in the morning on the coast and then moving inland, I think, as we go through the afternoon.
Storm Team 3 weather, powered by Sparrow's live Titan radar.
We had a beautiful Beautiful day out there today. Temperatures reach into the 70s this evening with the dry air, the clear skies, light northeast winds. Temperatures are cooling pretty nicely. 64 degrees here in Savannah, where we're heading into the 50s overnight. As you head out tomorrow morning, make sure to dress in layers. You might need the light jacket or just a long sleeve shirt. So the dominating features, high pressure, which is ridging across the southeast, bringing the mostly clear skies across the region.
A live look outside from our Dozier Law Cam. Let's check in with Storm Team 3 meteorologist Lee Haywood for a check of that forecast. Hey, Lee.
Hey there, Trish. Yeah, we had a little bit of sunshine today mixing with those clouds, and we also had temperatures milder. We expected that, and we reach all the way to the low 70s. A live look at our Spiros Titan radar this evening shows skies are partly to mostly cloudy, no precipitation over the area, but there's a front back to the northwest, and that may bring us a few isolated showers later in the night. Right now, we're 64 degrees after that high today at 72. Now, a wedge of cool high pressure still holding over northern Georgia, where it's 48 in Atlanta and Macon. Meanwhile, again, we're in the 60s on the coast. Current temperatures running 67 degrees in Savannah, 69 Wilmington Island, and 63 back in Rincon. For the low country of South Carolina, readings mid-60s inland, around 64 degrees in Okatee and 66 at Hilton Head Island. So the forecast tonight, look for mostly cloudy skies becoming.
Storm Team 3 meteorologist Lee Haywood is joining us live now from Tybee Island with more on this. Lee.
That is right, Ben and Tina. We're talking about since Saturday the risk for those high rip currents, and they have been an issue, lifeguards tell me this afternoon. Since Saturday, we've been seeing the choppy waves, the higher surf, and of course that enhanced risk for rip currents. Now let's talk about what is causing all of this. A couple of things. We've had this persistent onshore flow of brisk winds. You have a great day tomorrow. Most of the area is going to be mostly sunny in the morning, partly cloudy in the afternoon. Only a very slight chance that a shower will come onto the coast, and that rain chance is only really about 10%. So most of the area is looking very nice. Matter of fact, for the Great Ageechee Seafood Festival on Saturday, low 80s in Richmond Hill. And then as we go into Sunday, we do have a chance for showers coming in and the high about 81. This is the setup this evening. We have high pressure dominating the eastern 1/3 of the nation. You can see the clear skies of the Carolinas, Georgia, down into most of the middle Mississippi River Valley. So this is going to be an issue this afternoon. The continuation of those flash flood warnings along the coast. What can you expect? 2 to 4 potentially more inches of rain. So we're talking storm totals in parts of the area as much as 5 to 10 inches of rain. So this is going to be pretty significant because we have a high tide running 12 to 1 o'clock this afternoon. So at that high tide, storm surge, the push of the water on shore, also the gusty winds coming on shore. We're watching the risk for severe thunderstorms across our local area. Tornado watch is up for part of the area. No warnings in effect right now, but we could see some later, and we're tracking the rain. We'll show you more on the full forecast coming up.
Radar.
All right, let's get to the latest weather information. Of course, we have severe weather raking across portions south of the Altamaha River. This is the big picture this evening, and we have showers and thunderstorms over inland communities racing off to the east. Coastal communities for now look okay, but we have some additional storms developing to the south that are approaching the coast as we head over the next hour. Now, I want to let you know we do have a newly issued tornado warning. This is going to be in effect for Atkinson, Bacon, Clinch, Coffee, and Ware counties. It is associated with this big area of rain. Minutes ago, this was at Marco Island. It is very near Naples right now, and it is heading in the direction of Fort Myers. So over the next 24 hours, it is going to take a track across the western portions of the Florida Peninsula, be southwest of us as we head through the day tomorrow as a weakening hurricane, then becoming a tropical storm. So you can see tracking well to our west and then moving up and weakening as we go in towards Alabama to just a tropical depression and eventually just a remnant low pressure as we head into midweek. This is the latest information. Take a look at this. This is Marco Island. This is where it came ashore again about 45 minutes ago. This is Naples. This is Fort Myers. So the storm is moving north at about 12 miles per hour and producing 115 mile per hour sustained winds. And again, those gusts higher than that. We've been seeing gusts up to 130 miles per hour in Naples as well around Marco Island. It is about 424 miles to the south of Savannah right now, moving to the north at 12. We do have some rain over the area at the moment. This is what we can expect, and particularly late tonight going into tomorrow, some potentially damaging and strong wind gusts, 40 to 60 mile per hour winds, potentially right along the coast where there's a hurricane watch, maybe a chance for a couple of gusts to hurricane strength, 74 mile per hour or greater. Rainfall is going to be a big issue in our Georgia counties. Potential for 4 to 8 inches of rain, 3 to 6 inches of rain potential over South Carolina counties. Storm surge. There's a storm surge warning in effect. 4 to 6 feet of rising water is potentially going to happen along the immediate coast. This is water that is above dry land, and the high tide is tomorrow at about lunchtime. That's going to be the real big high tide concern. Then as we head into the overnight and very early Tuesday morning, about 1 a.m., that'd be the other high tide that could cause problems. And then finally, we're also going to watch for those isolated tornado risks late tonight and tomorrow. So again, we do have a storm surge warning on the coast. If you are on the coast, prepare for the possibility for very high inundation of water, 4 to 6 feet, as we roll into that tide tomorrow afternoon, early afternoon anyway. We also have hurricane watches in effect for coastal communities, including Savannah, Hinesville, down at Darien, Hilton Head Island, all the way up into Bluffton. And we also have tropical storm warnings. This includes the entire WSAV viewing area. Tropical storm force winds 39 to 73 mile per hour. So that is the potential wind. When you get all this rainfall, you get strong gusty winds. That is problematic because it does produce power outages. You start to see some of those trees dropping, and you also start to see power lines go down. So there is the risk for power outages, particularly going into Monday, I think. Maybe not so much tonight, but again, that could be a big issue over the area. So we're going to be watching all these ingredients.
It was really scary. It happened in an instant.
Timothy Ogle and 3 of his family members were in the bathtub when the tornado hit.
All I know is that we were in the bathroom, and then I was buried underneath rubble. And the only thing I could do was just pull all of my limbs together to push things off of me.
His home completely destroyed.
It was at that moment where, honestly, in my mind, I thought, is this how I'm going to die? But I said, no, not today.
His home had been tossed 50 feet, but his neighbor's 220 feet.
Yeah, the house was right there, and it picked it up and destroyed it over there, the frame of the house, and over there's the floor, and then that's all the inside of the house, the cabinets, the hot water heaters way over there, the refrigerators over there.
A brand new home they plan to move in this weekend.
We were moving things in, and I made the mistake of moving some of the sentimental things in the house, and that's what we've been out here trying to retrieve.
The tornado showed up at 4 a.m. Thursday morning, moving from Bullitt County into Effingham County before dissipating.
We're very thankful that nobody lost their life, but we've got 7 people that are injured. 3 are in Savannah at this time.
Now, WSAV and community partner McDonald's present Weatherwise Kids.
WSAV weather scene. Why do we see the moon during the day?
Ebony, an interesting fact about the moon is it's up in the sky during the day as often as it is at night. And it turns out the moon is up all night long, only one night each month. Otherwise, the moon rises and sets on its own schedule, having nothing to do with our sunrise or sunset. If you begin to look at the sky a lot, you'll often see the daytime moon. It's beautiful and serene, pale looking and appearing to float against the blue sky. If you want to see the daytime moon, remember this and you'll have the best chance. Look within a week or so of the date of the full moon. Before the full moon, look for the daytime moon in the afternoon. After the full moon, look for the daytime moon in the morning. Bottom line, you can see the moon during the day whenever it's fairly full in phase and fairly far from the sun in the sky's dome. Thanks for the great question, Ebony. I'm Storm Team 3 Meteorologist Lee Haywood from the Forecast Center.
Yo ho, what's the weather going to be?
Here's the man who knows, let's take a look and see.
You may know that catchy and memorable Captain Sandy theme song, an old Savannah institution and a wonderful and fun part of WSAV history from the mid-50s through the early 80s, back when markers were used to handwrite the temperatures on maps in the studio. While more than one person played Captain Sandy over the years, Joe Cox played the character the longest from 1965 through the late 70s.
Wilbur ought to be coming down here at any moment, giving us the forecast.
Captain Sandy had a few sidekicks. There was Wilbur the weather bird, who descended from above, suspended from a cable. Wilbur's wardrobe choice predicted the next day's weather. A Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses meant sunny and warm weather. If he was in foul weather gear, well, rain was ahead.
Gotta be faster than that, boy.
Captain Sandy would also snatch the tide report from the snapping mouth of Calamity Clam, who lived in Davy Jones's locker.
Low tonight, 66 degrees. Thank you, Arthur.
And there was also our thermometer, the temperamental thermometer. It was all irresistible fun, and Captain Sandy and his crew were a fixture in so many homes talking about the weather.
So overhear us again, once again tomorrow night, friends, at 7 o'clock. We'll be here waiting for you.
Those were the television days of long ago, before today's Doppler radar, storm tracking, and 7-day forecasts. In the 1950s, there were no weather satellites or radar images to give meteorologists the big picture of weather patterns locally and across the globe. But today, with the communications and computational revolution, the amount of weather information available has increased dramatically. And thus, the understanding of how the atmosphere works has never been better. And with advanced supercomputers running complex computer models of the weather, you get more accurate forecasts than ever. You can always count on Storm Team 3 to be here for you, the daily forecasts, and keeping you safe when the storms move in, tracking them for you minute by minute. I'm meteorologist Lee Haywood from the Forecast Center.